In the previous part of this episode, we examined 3 fugitive Nazi members who fled to neighboring countries after World War II. In this video, we will look at the remaining 4 members. Number 4. Franz Stangl. Stangl was Austrian and earned the nickname White Death due to his preference for wearing white clothing and carrying a whip. He worked in the euthanasia program, under which the Nazis killed individuals with mental and physical disabilities. He later served as a commandant of the Sobibor and Treblinka death camps in German-occupied Poland. It is believed that over 100,000 Jews were murdered during his tenure at Sobibor before he moved to Treblinka, where he was directly responsible for the second deadliest Nazi death camp. After the war ended, Stangl was captured by the Americans but escaped from an Austrian prison camp to Italy in 1947. With the help of a high-ranking Nazi sympathizer, Alois Hodel, Stangl traveled to Syria with the Red Cross and then went to Brazil. In 1967, he was struck down by Simon Wiesenthal, a Holocaust survivor and famous Nazi hunter, and subsequently extradited to West Germany. There, he was tried and found guilty of complicity in the murder of 900,000 people. Sentenced to life imprisonment, he died of heart failure in 1971. Number 5. Josef Schwammberger. He was an Austrian Nazi. Swamberger was an SS commander responsible for 3 labor camps in Jewish ghettos of Nazi-occupied Poland during World War II. In 1942, he was sent to the Roswado forced labor camp, where hundreds of prisoners were killed. Many of the prisoners there were shot by Schwammberger himself. In 1943, he organized the mass execution of 500 Jewish prisoners at the Przemyśl camp. He personally executed 35 people in Przemyśl by shooting them in the back of the neck and sent Jews to the Auschwitz death camp. In 1944, he cleaned the town of millions of Jews. Arrested in Austria in 1945, Schwammberger escaped to Italy in 1948 and a month later arrived in Argentina, where he lived openly under his real name and obtained citizenship. West Germany sought his extradition in 1973, but Schwammberger went into hiding. However, he was eventually arrested by Argentine authorities in 1987, after a tipster revealed his location in exchange for a $300,000 reward from Germany. He was extradited to West Germany in 1990 to stand trial. Witnesses at the trial testified that they saw Schwammberger throw prisoners into fires, kill Jews kneeling beside mass graves, and bash children's heads against walls because he didn't want to waste bullets on them. In 1992, he was found guilty of 32 counts of murder and sentenced to life imprisonment. Swamberger died in prison in 2004 at the age of 92. Number 3. Erich Prebke. Prebke was a mid-level SS commander and a member of the Gestapo. He participated in the 1944 Ardennes Caves massacre in Rome, where the Nazis killed 335 people in retaliation for the murder of 33 German SS members by Italian partisans. Prebke admitted to killing 2 of the Italians, but claimed he was only following orders. Prebke also signed the agreement to transfer 2,000 Italian Jews to Auschwitz and acted as a liaison between the Nazis and the Vatican. On New Year's Eve in 1946, he escaped from a British POW camp by cutting through barbed wire while his guards were drunk. With the help of a Bishop Alois Hodel, Prebke fled to Argentina in 1948 using a fake Red Cross passport. He settled in the mountain town of San Carlos de Bariloche in the Patagonia region. He lived there under his real name. In 1994, Prebke's past was exposed to the world after an interview conducted by ABC reporter Sam Donaldson. As a result of the uproar following the interview, Prebke was extradited to Italy. where he was convicted of war crimes and sentenced to life imprisonment, which he served under house arrest. Prebke died in 1213 at the age of 100. His funeral led to clashes between fascist and anti-fascist protesters, and after Argentina refused to allow his burial, he was buried in a secret location. Number 7. Gerhard Bohne. Bohne, who was a lawyer and an SS officer, oversaw the Third Reich's welfare homes and elderly care facilities, and was responsible for the administrative aspects of Hitler's euthanasia program. He claimed to be a mercy killer and was among the leaders who carried out systematic mass murder to cleanse the Aryan race and avoid agreement expenses for individuals with mental and physical disabilities. This program led to the deaths of approximately 200,000 Germans afflicted with incurable diseases, mental illnesses, and other disabilities. The victims were led into gas chambers in institutions and then incinerated. This program served as a pilot experiment for the later mass extermination camps operated by the SS. After submitting a report accusing his own institution of fraud and corruption, Bohne was expelled from the Nazi Party. Bohne in 1949 was employed as a technician in the Argentine army under the presidency of Juan Perón and fled to Argentina. He later confessed that Perón's associates provided him with money and identification documents. After Perón's coup, Bohne returned to Germany and was tried by a court in Frankfurt in 1963. He was released on bail and fled to Argentina again, eventually being surrendered to Germany 3 years later as the first Nazi war criminal by Argentina. Due to his poor health for trial, Bohne was not prosecuted. Bohne was not prosecuted and passed away from the world in 1981, 15 years later.